Yeah, we can get started. So my intentions for the call are to go through the board really quick, check on the final status of these issues, and then dive into a Param debate, hopefully. As far as distractions, I have none. I'll pass it to you, Mitch.
Yeah, my goal is to just go through the board, look at what's left, and then facilitate a debate. And I'll pass it to Metaverde.
Good morning. I'm just seeing where we're at. Excited to have some mornings off, catch up hopefully, and let me see. Griff, you already went, right? I'll pass to Zep. Wait, did Zep just go? Yeah.
Thank you, Septi. As far as intentions goes, I just want to catch up. I think I spotted a bug in the dashboard yesterday. I'll try to replicate the circumstances to see if I can put it out there. But yeah, mostly just catching up. No distractions today. And I'll pass it to Edu.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I just want to catch up and just check what you guys are doing and see if how are the things going with the prom parties and so on. So those are my intentions, my distractions. I have none at the moment, and I will pass it up back to you, Griff, I guess.
I'll throw it to Vitor. Oh, Vitor, you're muted.
I did. Yeah, I did not go yet. Yeah, awesome. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, like intentions are to talk a little bit about the new issue template and check out like how things are going to the debates and if we should like and how can we migrate like update all the previous issues to the new template. There's already implemented. And yeah, no distractions. I think there's no one else, right?
Oh no, I'll
Delightful
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my intentions for this call is just to this is my first parameters call, so just to understand what goes on in these calls, just to listen and learn. And distractions for today, strangely not distracted today, so no distractions yet. Thank you.
Nice. Well, then let's jump into the first thing. How do we make Param parties better? My suggestion would be that you don't create a time until you have at least two people who will actually give debate, who will actually present. You got to go find the presenters to join you in the debates. Zep, did you have did you want to expand on that question more? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I agree that maybe having less but more promoted Param debates would be good. I think also like the last couple of Param parties have been better visited that before. I think it's also a time zone stuff, because when I do like at 13 or 15 Europe time, nobody comes, and when it's 19, there's usually more people there. So maybe kind of just focus on that times where people can join and want to join, because yeah, it's a bit frustrating when you just sit there and nobody shows up.
And if I may say so, I would suggest to be more debates and parties. I feel that within the debates, people can, because there is a lot of time that is spent on explaining the tooling, explaining the description of all the models. Whether if you do the debate, you will explain it while you are debating, and people can ask on the spot, and it will be more practical. I feel, because you just have a bunch of proposals being debated, and have a separate section for questions, or having people dedicated for one-on-ones if it is needed, if someone, or just channel the people questions through Param's text channel or the question channel. I think we can foster engagement and sort of work around the idea of the debates more than parties. That's it. Back to you, Griff.
Is anyone
Hold on.
else having trouble hearing Eduardo? I have you up all the way, Eduardo, and I can barely hear you.
I can hear him fine.
Same.
I
It
was
was a
hearing
little
some,
lighter.
some noise, but
Yeah. But okay, well, I will say that we do have some big debates coming up that in the calendar you can see if they have like I put some whales in here. So we have Paul is he's got a lot of tokens, and we got him on tomorrow at 11 and Friday at 10. We have Zargum very late in the evening for Europe, but at 5 p.m. on Friday. And we have Trent and Simon de la Riviere on Sunday. And then I assume we'll have some big debates on Tuesday and on Monday and Tuesday, since the vote should be over on the Tuesday at 7 p.m. Europe time. So, do we want to like coalesce around a time on Tuesday and a time on Monday? Like maybe we do like the last debate is like both this whole thing right here. Let's do like 2-hour debate. Make it like the big last debate.
I'm for it. I think it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we coalesce around this one on Monday, right before Communitas.
Is that on Monday?
Monday at
showing-
noon.
You're just showing the
Just the TEC.
that's the
I can-
Commons meeting.
I can throw and give it.
I have it here. Monday.
I wouldn't do it during games, but
It's alright. Wonka's already been doing it during games.
what a punk.
No,
No
I think that
respect.
sounds great.
Does Does anyone want to host it? Who likes to? You want to host it, Zep? I'll make it better later. It's there. Okay, so we just coalesce around these ones and make them pretty big. And then, you know, these other ones, it was just hard to find times with these guys. So the ones that we have on Friday, I don't have to host them, by the way. I'm happy to participate if someone else, but I'll definitely be going to them.
You mean these token engineer ones? Token holder?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's intimidating, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the juicy one.
Because this guy freaking invented it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the bonding curve. My bonding curve design, sir, is
Shit.
Oh, yeah. Marxist Vlad. No.
Oh god, yeah. See what Simon thinks about that one.
Okay, cool. I think this is enough on the debates. Unless does anyone else have any ideas? I think we don't add any more unless there's like someone who's a large token holder that really. Yeah.
I wasn't planning on adding any more. Like honestly, I heard the feedback from the sprint retrospective, and people were like, more debates, like very clearly. So it's like, okay, 2 every day, max. Well, you can see we got 3. I think one of them's like the reward system one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's only debates this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's even worth our time to do any more parties.
No.
Yeah, I think the rewards is just catching up because I could do it last week. So to give everybody rewards the chance, but yeah.
Make it I would make it a debate, honestly though.
Griff, will you be kind enough to share the list of people you have are rich top holders, so I can do today the outreach for the next 20 or next 10, so I can sort of immediately send them these dates and let them know they can join, so we can see if a last push of these people it will be worth it.
Sorry, can you say that again? What list of people do you want?
Yeah, just a list of people who you have outreach from the top token holders. So I don't resend the same message to them, and I can outreach the next 20, next 10 people on that list.
Okay. Yeah, and I honestly would suggest that you take the whole list. I don't think we have a list of token holders though, right? Who they are?
The list that we used to have is the one in the quant that had the whole token holders and had like the amount of token holders the amount of tokens they had. That's the one that we tended to use, and then we have that list that is token holders not filtered, and then we have the list of people who were hatchers. So I can send you
We actually have a list of the TEC token holders, like the people who have TEC tokens and how much they have.
Yes, there was a list of that.
Wow, I didn't know we made that list. Okay. Well, yeah, go for the list. I would go from the top, man. Just do them all, ping them all, and because like, yeah, I pinged I pinged all of the top 10, but
okay,
but they could use an extra reminder, you know.
Okay, perfect. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's worth it. I think it's worth it, and especially if you just tell them, hey, these are the times that we're having the debates, and the last one is this time, you know.
Perfect. Will do.
Cool. Cool. Then let's see. Let's move on to the board, actually, huh? Still no Pedro though.
I can send him a message to try to steal him from Lauren as well.
Yeah, please. I think she's got him. Yeah, I'm sure he's sucked into some Giveth stuff and is losing track of time. But yeah, because actually a lot of these, let's see, reserve ratio link is not working. There's no tooltip. Need to move the tag so it's easier to click. Yeah, see, I think most of Pedro's issues still haven't been merged if they're fixed.
I
But,
think he at least did miss settings on. I think he was like moved to focus on to finishing Giveth things before to finish here, I think.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, it's so tough. Okay, so this. Did you say that the advanced settings thing is fixed or no?
No, in the front end, not yet. I think it's not sending yet. But yeah, as long as there are still a few pull requests, but yeah, no, they don't. It's not merged yet.
Oh, okay. So there are some pull requests. Oh yeah, but those don't need to be merged. Those stay unmerged. We actually made an application, like a fork, basically, a Vercel fork for Bright ID and for Giveth. That's kind of cool. But
Oh, nice.
what about what's the plan with the GitHub issue? Did you end up passing them through?
It's implemented. Yeah, no, like okay, so it's a twofold thing. It's implemented right now. So if you go there and generate an issue, it will have the template, the new template that you said. But I just need to this is the first part, right? Update the template, but then like update all the issues there. It's a bit of work. I'll have to create a script, and I just want to get sure that the template is correct before doing that. So yeah, I even sent you a message, and we can just like once it's validated that the template's correct and implemented correctly, then I can just like create quickly the script and run like my afternoon just update all the issues that I already have to the new template.
Cool. Well, it looks good from first review.
And by the way, that opening price meme should be null. All of the issues.
Which one? Just this opening meme. There's an opening price meme?
No, worries. Like once, what takes more time is like creating the.
We lost you, Vitor. Oh no, it's me.
No, the issue 109 is the one that you sent me. The issue 109 is the one that you sent me as a template and has the opening price like.
No, that's just that was just that's Mitch's meme.
Okay.
No, that's part of the overall commons configuration strategy.
Yeah, I just edited that and put it in.
Okay.
You could put it on all of them because it's a great meme, but I don't know.
I'll remove it. No worries. No worries.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah. Maybe Nuggin, would you be able to review the issue template? I'm like frozen. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Review it in which way?
No, it's already merged actually. So if you go there, you can generate this way. So because I thought it was all correct, so you can just go there and try to create one issue in the config that you see.
This one I just created it and it worked fine. Like it was everything at the new place, and the table I think is also right. So.
Great. Yeah,
Yep.
just removing the meme merge.
Do we have it so that you can add extra CV steps?
Yeah, you can. But you can try it. Yeah, the logic is not like I just changed the order of the template, but it should work. At least I tried here and it worked fine. The orders, etc. But it's good to have like an extra task, right?
Oh, we are missing the market cap on the issue. The table.
In which table?
In the generated issue.
ABC overview.
Yeah, ABC overview. Yeah, the extra column
Okay,
for
so
the market
reserve,
cap.
supply, price, and market. Okay, awesome.
Yes, exactly.
I'll write it. Thanks for the.
Yeah. No problem. I'm sending it already, so I think it should be. Yeah.
Cool. Oh. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there.
Okay.
Apparently, in every new proposal is.
Slightly communist
These are your
theme.
choices. People are going to be really questioning the TEC, man.
I mean, put it up there with TEC Casino, sure. Get the whole spectrum.
Okay, cool. So this looks pretty good. Just those little fixes, like less communist propaganda, but other than that, looks good.
Awesome. And okay, and then just one more question to check. Yeah, you said the market cap. So right now the order of the columns is reserve, supply, price, and then like market cap would go where like.
Yeah, right next to
after?
the price. Right after the price.
Okay. Reserve, supply, price, market cap. Okay, awesome. And yeah, okay. So after I change those little things, I can just run the script to update all of the issues. Or not?
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I would just like change their content, and then they will be all the same.
Will there be an issue with with like the older ones that maybe was the database empty for some things?
Yeah, I gotta check that. I did not check it yet, but I gotta check. Probably yes. Yeah, probably yes.
Maybe we just
Like-
need maybe add something so that it's not blank. I don't know.
No, I'll check like which parameters are missing, and then I can just add the default. Or I can ask you like which ones can be the default. Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta check it.
Okay, cool. And then see what would we do differently? Branch for rep next die, so this is closed. And that's it. That's the without Pedro, I don't think it's worth going into these other issues. So might as well just dive into the Param debate, huh? Is there any other topics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a small one because we had comments in the Params channel this week about some error and there was a user who got confused because when they were trying to add a step, there wasn't a little red X to close the window, and they kind of didn't have the idea to just click outside of the window, and so they ended up submitting an empty step, which caused the error. And so do we want to add a little button to close the window, or is that not worth the hassle anymore?
We could add it. I bet it doesn't get added. You can make the issue, but I mean, we have some other issues that Pedro's behind on and is focusing on the Giveth launch, and we only in the end, the Giveth token launch and the Param debates are like targeting the same day. So I just don't think Pedro's gonna prioritize the X.
Okay, then it's no problem. I just wanted to bring it up in case if it was worth the effort or not.
I think it's worth making the issue, and then it's there, and then we fix it one day.
Okay.
got to make sure these people. Thank you for making sure that people are heard.
I'll open the issue then.
All right. Well, you guys want to have a debate? Yeah. Griff is on. All right. Let's turn this up. Let's debate some parameters. Well, so I would like to open up this debate, and I'm wondering if anybody has already a set of parameters that they would like to showcase and debate. Champion.
I can if we run out, but I would love to hear other people.
All right. I see Nuggin put his hand up. Chewy, Delightful Abyss. Anybody? Zep's got some. Love it. Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hey guys. Sorry, eavesdrop on Griff's computer when I'm not on the call. So.
No, you good. You good.
Always.
You got some params?
I kind of just wanted to see what other people's params were.
Do you even param?
I'm going to. I'm gonna make the winning proposal tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get this started. So we've got 3. I can do 4. So we do that. 5 and 5. We'll do 4 and 4. So 4 minutes. 4 minutes to present. No, we'll do 5 minutes to present. 5 minutes of questions. So Nuggin, do you feel like you want to take it away and go first?
Sure, why not? Let me
All right.
open it for a second.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll put 5 minutes on the board.
Oh.
That's not a good sound.
No, that's it. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so my proposal is again mathematics, but version number 3 with a $1 million common pool. So, as maybe some of you already know, this proposal is based around the numbers 7 and 13, which are the scientific optimum to make the best possible parameters in the world. So, starting with the token freeze and token thaw, we have an opening price of 70 cents, 26 weeks freeze, which is 2 times 13, and 77 weeks thaw, which is 11 times 7. This also in lame numbers is 6 months thaw freeze, and then 1.5 years thaw, which gets us to 2 whole years vesting period. So yeah, which I think is a pretty reasonable time. I think guaranteeing 6 months of price floor is important, but after that, I think people should be able to leave if they feel so, because further than that, it just, it's information you want to know. So if people want to leave but can't, you kind of restricting the flow of information there. So I think 6 months is enough to kind of give security, but not too much. Then we get to the bonding curve. The bonding curve has 70 cent opening price, 84% commons tribute, and then 3.5% in, 3.5% out tribute, which for a total of 7% tribute for somebody who gets in and gets out again. So this high tribute helps us have a steep reserve ratio. We have a reserve ratio of 14.74, which is higher than others. Like I've seen kind of the normal to be like around 20, but I personally like it because I think the price should be able to develop and to enter price discovery if there is enough interest there. I think if we go to the issue, we can see that if we get to a reserve balance of 100 million, which is a lot, the price would be around $140, a bit less, which I think is right. Like if you look at other big projects like Maker or AI or stuff like that, if the TC gets to be so important and have so much weight in its space that it has 100 million in the reserve, then I think it's justified to have a token which gets that value. Is also to prevent like big whales coming late and buying it all up. Then we get to the Dow Voting. Dow Voting is 91% support required, 7% quorum, and which is relatively normal. And then 7 days for a vote, 4 days delegated, 3 days for the quiet ending. And if there's an extension, you have a 3-day extension with 1-day execution delay. This is pretty standard. The support is a bit higher, the quorum a bit lower, but yeah, standard. And then we have a spending limit for the conviction voting, spending limit of 13%. With a minimum conviction of 4 and a growth of 3 days. This sets the normal case at around 10% maximum spending limit, which I think, I think it's fine. I think it allows to be ambitious, especially if we're looking at our 1 million common pool, but without overspending. And conviction growth is fast, so you kind of get the opportunity to fund stuff in a relatively short time, but the minimum conviction of 4 to kind of avoid people just asking for very, very little time and again and draining the funds that way. And yeah, that's it. I hope I didn't get too much.
You even got 35 seconds left, Nugget. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, then just please vote. This is amazing.
Wow, mathematics V3.
Yeah, mathematics V3. Mathematics.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's put another 5 minutes on the board. Sorry, there's a cow outside my door. 1 second.
Conviction growth. 3 days.
Yeah.
5 minutes for questions. Go ahead.
Sorry?
Why such a short conviction growth?
Well, because I think I want to be able to fund stuff fast. Like yes, I think we should have a dynamic marketplace of proposals and people just requesting funding, and I don't think I think it is good to allow lots. Like I want people to have the tokens parked somewhere and for a very long time. I think if there's something really big, then of course. But for normal day-to-day funding stuff, I think we can move fast and hopefully build some cool stuff.
What's the look like with 8 hours?
8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's nothing crazy. I think it's okay. Like these are high numbers, but you are trying to do it fast. So
totally.
With some coordination of delegates, you could do that, I think.
I mean, no, there's no delegation.
Oh, yeah, right. I kind of mixed it up there for a second, but well, you would still want to have a big part of the community mobilizing to do something in 8 hours.
So basically, with these params, like if you don't pass it in 2 weeks, it's not gonna fly.
Well, if you look at 3 months, I mean, you still can, but you'd need people to just kind of take the opportunity cost there for a longer time. Yes. Oh, sorry, just closed it. Yeah, I feel like if something doesn't work for like in a month or something, maybe that's also a good signal to kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of try to find a new way. So, yeah, to make it more appealing, or just kind of iron it out and coordinate with other people.
So if no one else is going to say anything, what about the opening price under $1? What inspired that?
Yeah, well,
somebody
that was actually the Juanca was inspiration. I like this $1 million Ostrom's baby stuff. I think it was cool. Also, the initial price would be at 137 after the buy-in, so it's not really below because we wouldn't expect the TC to just sell all the tokens right away. So you could, it's not really that. And also, I don't know. I think it's, if you really just want to sell it directly, then it kind of is a failure. So people should want to contribute in a way to it incentivizes people to just continue contributing and continue adding value and not just cashing out the moment they can.
I just think there's some psychological barriers in the way that we present it. Like people put in one XDAI and then the output is 70 cents. Like, yes, but technically with the initial buy, but just that argument alone without looking at the initial buy will be a tough sell, I think, for hatchers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. No, I played around with it a bit, and I also moved it a bit higher there. The thing is, in that case, the reserve ratio started getting closer to 20, and I wanted to have it a bit lower.
30 seconds.
Like, yeah. I wanted to kind of make a difference there and have a lower reserve ratio without getting to extremes like others.
Any final questions for Nuggin on his proposal?
Yeah, well, I think I personally like it when the entry and exit attribute are the same. I think it feels fair for me, and I think 3.5 is a number which is low enough to not be an issue when you are individually thinking of buying or selling. You pay 3.5 and it's not that much, but on the total it does get a bit higher. But yeah, I think that will make you think twice if you want to just go in and go out fast. This reserve ratio is more to give the token price a way to grow if the TC gets really big, and not end up with the issue that even if you have you're moving thousands and thousands of dollars and just somebody can come in and buy up 30% of the supply just because your bonding curve was turned too flat at that point. So that was a bit more the logic there.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Nuggin. Mathematics V3. If you guys love it, give it a like, share it with your friends and family. I'd like to pass it to Zep now. You had one to present as well. You okay to present, Septimus? Perfect. Let me know when you're ready. Here you go. All right, give her.
Yes, I think that's the bug that I spotted yesterday. There are some differences in the simulator that shouldn't be there.
So you're okay. Cool. There you go.
Try 95.0.
Okay. Two minutes. Missing a zero step. Yeah, got it. No, finish your point. Finish your point. You're fine. Thanks, Zep. Exciting as ever. TEC Casino. We got 5 minutes for questions. Starting now. Any questions?
I want to bring this idea into the forefront. I was excited for TEC Casino to do it. With the small reserve ratio, if you go back to the bonding curve module, there's a challenge that it gets really hard to outgovern the hatchers, right? If you add a transaction for, let's say, $5 million, like can you simulate a $5 million purchase? It should work. You'll notice that barely any tokens are created. And this means that the hatchers have all of the 2 million tokens, but then the people who are buying in later, it's like impossible to get governance power unless the hatchers sell. And then that means during the freeze, the hatchers basically run the show. So yeah, when we put in $5 million, only 65,000 tokens are created. Or sorry, 140,000 tokens are created. Only 140,000 tokens are created. 2 million tokens go to the hatchers, and then people put in another 5 million, and they only get 140K worth of governance representation. What do you think?
Smells like technocracy.
Early adoptocracy. Yeah, hatchers have to be able to sell basically and take profits so that they can have less tokens. But even then, if they just don't sell, it gets a little dicey.
I'm personally. I'm a big fan personally of like the medium reserve ratio, low reserve balance, because then you got a fair amount of casino action at the beginning, but then once the Dow kind of like levels out and stabilizes, you don't get the same effect. So it like becomes more stable and easier to buy and sell. Yeah, what's up with 3 years of vesting, man? Mm-hmm. 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 I don't know, it feels like a big commitment, 3 years of vesting. And the hatchers didn't know that before. So it's like, oh. I wonder how many people are gonna rage quit from our commons configuration. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Well, thanks, Zap. That was issue 91, TUC Casino V3. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, we got 6 left. if anyone feels like doing a rapid chill, or if you have anything that you want to say in closing, Griff, or
I could do
we
a
have another
rapid.
debate right after this. Nugget's hosting
Oh,
one.
cool. Okay, well, no, actually,
think.
Pedro's here, so that's a good call. We should get updates from Pedro. That's great that there's another debate right here, so we can just continue to roll in. Pedro, how are things in the params?
I don't know if I understand your question. You're asking me about the dev activities, or if I managed to do any. Okay, about the dev. So I didn't have much time this week to look after the issues. Every day I'm going to the repo to see if we have any other new issues, to see if any of this is urgent. But I'm a little bit overwhelmed with the issues on Give It. But if you want me to do something, you just can tag the high priority label, and I will queue on the spare time that I have, okay? But I didn't work on anything right now.
I think the only one that's really there's this one that's tagged with a high priority, making the ratio link, and then there's advanced settings, getting the advanced settings to be passed through. And then this remove A is like, I think you already have it in some kind of I think you already have that fixed somewhere. I think those are the only 3 issues. So I almost feel like, I mean, because these 2 are high priority, I think you could clear the board pretty quickly.
Okay.
But getting the advanced settings modified, if it takes more than an hour, we can skip it, you know?
Okay.
And because we can also just delete the advanced settings from the issue, but I think you just need to tell Vitor if you're going to fix it or not before he makes the issue template. Go back in time and edit all of them, because then we can just remove the advanced settings modified tag. Because honestly, there hasn't been no one's been modifying the advanced settings at all. So.
Okay, I will take a look on and see how much time I think I would spend on that, and then I send you a message with the output of this.
Okay, cool.
But probably I can do another 1 hour.
If you don't hear from me, it's totally your call. If it takes more than an hour, it's not worth it.
Okay.
We just delete it, and you can just coordinate with Vitor. I don't want to be a slow step.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, then just let me know when we align that.
Okay.
Cool. And don't listen to Lauren. She's taking up all your time. Don't just block her on Telegram or something until you get friends.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it for the board, right? Is there anything else that we needed Pedro for, Vitor or Nuggin? No? Cool. Then I guess we continue the debate.
Yes. Sorry, there's some real big trucks coming through. Not too loud. Got the full spectrum today. Jeez. Hey, Griff, you had some. Do you want to just carry through right with the debates then? I know you had one that you wanted to present.
Yeah. Let me just message the Bright ID crowd and tell them I'm going to be just a few minutes late so I can present this.
Okay, sure.
So give me just a second.
I've got another meeting that I'd like to go to, but hopefully this isn't too off topic. I have a friend who wants to set up like he needs to consult with some token engineers, long story short. Are we doing that yet? Do we have people to
No.
consult with people about ways to set things up?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not until we launch, and then we can kind of coordinate some of that work.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Metaverde. Thanks for thinking of us. I mean, I wish we had it. Okay, cool. So, oh, that's my calendar. Hi. I guess we'll go back to this one.
Also, I'm passing the mantle to Nuggin. There it is. Nuggin
Thanks,
has
Mitch.
the con.
Received.
Okay, so then Nugget, are you going to time me?
Yeah. Ready?
I'll get my rant started and take the extra time because I'm a talker. Okay, so this is a very slight deviation that I haven't submitted yet of the Goldilocks $1 $1 gambit for $1 million Goldilocks faster orogeny. So I like opening price of $1. I think it's like to stick with the Goldilocks theme, trying to keep easy, fun numbers. And a token freeze of 6 months and a token thought of 1 year. It's the shortest, most reasonable thought, and I think this is just. I don't think there's other options for this module. Period. Next is the bonding curve. So this is the one change I make from the original faster orogeny. The a reserve ratio of below 20%, I feel, is just too in favor of Hatcher governance, as I mentioned with ZEP. And so in this case, it takes, if people buy about $5 million worth of tokens, they still, this will be much less because it won't be this bad because the entry tribute won't stay this high. But at least then we increase the token supply by about 1 million. And it'll probably be even more. So it takes $5 million to get to half the governance of the Hatchers. But I think that considering that the Hatchers will sell some tokens after 6 months and I think it's okay. It's still a little bit hard, but in the end, it is a bull market and we should keep a reserve ratio that's kind of low so we can get some price action. When that $5 million is purchased, it brings the price up to $5.29. So it's still like a pretty mild price increase. So that's what we have to fight. Like, how much do we want the price to go up? But then how much governance do we want to allow people who weren't in the hatch to be able to receive? And it's a tough dynamic. So I'm going with the Goldilocks number of 69 on the Commons Tribute. And this also has the progressive flipping of tributes. So I'm a firm believer that people will not use the bonding curve app to buy tokens, and it's almost irrelevant to worry about, people feel like they're being taxed. They just won't. They won't, because they won't do it. They will be actually buying tokens on HoneySwap and buying tokens on SushiSwap and wherever we're selling tokens. So they won't experience this. It'll be the ARB bots that take advantage of this issuance module to do it. And that was how it was with TrueBit. And you can see the graph. People are buying it on Uniswap, and then arbitrage bots are using the bonding curve. So this will start with a very high entry tribute because there's no liquidity, and at launch this is the only place to buy tokens. And I don't want people to buy tokens cheap who aren't happy to send 22% of their funds towards advancing token engineering. Full stop. That's just the deal, If you don't want to, in part, donate to support the advancement of token engineering, then you don't get the cheapest tokens, and we let the people who do care buy the cheap tokens. But then every month we lower it by 4% and increase the exit tribute by 2%. And I think it's really important to have a high exit tribute. I know it lowers it, but in the case that there is a governance problem, 90 seconds, thank you. In the case that there is a governance problem, then people will leave and the price will go down, and that will start filling the common pool with funds, which is like a counterbalancing of the market demand. And this counterbalance act is really powerful because now each token has more governance power because there's smaller supply and more money in the common pool. So when people leave, now governance tokens become more expensive. The governance value increases, and I think that's a really nice dynamic. So I would like to have maybe even 0 entry tribute and just exit tribute at the end. But in the end, this proposal is at the end to have a 2% entry tribute, 12% exit tribute. I really like these parameters. 85% support required. Vote duration of 5 days, but long vote quiet ending period of 3 days in case it's a controversial. If it's not a controversial proposal at all, then it just passes in 5 days. If it's a controversial proposal, then it gets 2 days added and maybe more through more quiet ending extensions. And then the conviction voting settings are set so that it is, I really like these 11, 4, 7. So you can kind of multiply the conviction growth by 4, and that's like the longest that it's reasonable to wait for a proposal. Like you can see that from 1 month, we got like 42,000 tokens to 3 months, ends up 40,000 tokens for $1. It doesn't really change much between 1 month and 3 months. Like a little bit, just a little, like 2,000 tokens across the board, basically, is the gain that you make from 1 month to 2 months. But waiting from 2 weeks to a month, there's like some serious gain. So it's that I figure like about a month is as long as I would want anyone to wait to see if a proposal passes. And so I designed around this conviction growth of 7 days. And what's cool with this is, first off, no proposals can pass in 8 hours. Like, good. No one should go to sleep and wake up and all of a sudden we spent money, you know? There should be it's like good advice process. But if we all rally around, you know, if everyone wants to spend, 10 grand doing something quick, then everyone can pile in their tokens. But really, most proposals will take about 3 days to pass. In 3 days, like if there's a large consensus of people who want it, it'll pass at like, you know, for small proposals, 20 to 30% of the active voting tokens. Okay, but we can still pass $50,000 proposals in like 2 weeks with 25% of the vote. Okay, so I'm open for questions. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so going back to your tributes, Griff, I don't know, what is this like weird, you know, the fifth tax, you know, 20% to come in at the beginning, and then like 20% to leave at the beginning, and if you're making the argument anyway that it's all going to be arbitrage post-launch, like, why wouldn't you just keep them lower, like 2-3% to get volume?
The big thing here is I would like to see $1 million in the common pool. And at launch, the only way to get TEC tokens will be the bonding curve. So I think it will be worth it to speculate on the TEC token, even with this 20% tribute, because it's the only way to get tokens. And so if you're, you know, ideologically aligned and you want to support, let's get some of that money into the common pool. And it's the only funding stream we're going to have for the first several months, because it's going to take time to pass conviction voting proposals. So at launch, there are no liquidity pools. At launch, there are no liquidity pools. But
I understand, except for the ones that we might make with the initial buy. But anyway, so I hear two different things though. You're saying 20% for speculators, and people can still speculate, but then you say we only want value-aligned people. But these value-aligned people, you're like, oh, well then they could still speculate and still sell. It's like, if you're value-aligned, you're not really in it to sell, but then you're saying, well, then the speculators still have this like barrier to entry. So it's like, is it one or the other?
Yeah. Well, it's both. It's that the people who buy the 22% entry tribute might dissuade speculators, but the people who do buy can still be rewarded
by selling a TEC token,
or even just feeling like, okay, I bought a token. So like in this case, let's say, so right after launch, somebody buys a token, they put in $5,000 and they get 2,800 tokens, which is actually not $5,000, closer to $4,000. So they take this psychological hit on paper, but that psychological hit is relieved It's not that they have to sell to realize the gains. They look at Etherscan and they're like, good. Or sorry, BlockScout. They're like, good. I have more money than I thought. I'm glad I invested in the TEC.
In principle, I hear you, but I think your numbers are too damn high.
Too damn high.
I also wanted to ask something that has to do with that, because you said, okay, so the people are not going to, it's going to be arbitrage bots. People are going to be buying on HoneySwap, SushiSwap, whatever, so it's only arbitrage bots would go to buy from the bonding curve. But the thing is, I imagine that with such a high tribute, it will take a while for them to be profitable. So the moment they do, they will probably dump a lot. So you would have the price probably whipsawing. You know, it raises, then suddenly it becomes profitable, then big dump. And do you think that maybe that could I don't know, if somebody is looking to get into the TC and just sees that there are some dumps and pumps, that they maybe just don't like it, or just buy it and then see that it goes down 5 minutes later a lot?
There'll be two different prices. There'll be the price on the bonding curve, which will have these dumps that you say, but the market price will not. The market price so the bonding curve price will kind of just like stabilize, right? And then when the market price hits above the entry tribute, then there's lots of little buys and sells, right? Mm-hmm. And so that will slowly increase the market price. The market price will always be, under this case, 22% below or 22% above the minting price on the TEC. So they'll just kind of go up like this, and then this will float, and then it'll go down, and it'll pull that down with it, and then it'll float, and then it'll. So it's this weird like two price thing.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and really it won't dump. It'll just like you'll get those buyers, and then it'll move out of the profitability threshold, and then it'll stop until it moves up again. So it won't be like a massive dump, It just moves out of range, and then the arbitrage stops.
I mean, the arbitrage bots are happy taking 1% profit, 0.5% profit, especially on XDAI. They'll be making lots of small buys and sells.
Yeah, thanks. Are there any more questions? We are kind of at the limit here, time-wise.
So, and this is because the entry tribute was so high, but the entry tribute will eventually reduce to 2%, and if the entry tribute is down to 2%, then 3 million gets 800k tokens.
Let's see what it looks like if you flip to what your final parameters will be. Hold on, 122. Come on.
Okay. So then, so then they get 800k tokens for 3 mil. The hatchers will have to sell. I mean, the challenge is this price. Like, we want the price to be able to go up, If we have a really high reserve ratio, the price doesn't go up very much. Also, this has to be selected by the hatchers, so the hatchers, were willing to take a risk and put their money here in wrapped XDAI effectively for 6 months during this bull market. Pretty huge risk. So we have to give them some reward, but then, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm out of time, right?
Yeah, I think there's somebody else who's missing right now. I think, Lauren, did you want to present something?
I know, I don't really have anything to present. I just wanted to be in the loop on the debate today.
And I feel bad. I really have to run to another call.
Me too.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. So, yeah,
Um,
maybe Chewy, do you have something?
I have a bunch of notes of a proposal that I meant to put together last week. However, it was a fork of the TEC Casino and the Bolsheviks Gambit, and it's called Casino Royale. Like, let's have both the communists and the MI6 just have fun with the bonding curve. But yeah, like these health issues haven't really let me put it together, and also like there are newer forks of both proposals. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up to be able to merge these two, and I would most likely to replicate the TEC casinos volatility, but with some same parameters from the Bolshevik that focus on the common pool. So,
I thought of a
so
fun
yeah,
play on
just
words,
a quick
Chewy,
pitch.
because
Huh?
I put the casino in like a roller coaster, and so what's roller coaster in Spanish?
Montaña rusa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, awesome. Do you want to maybe show us a bit, or do you want to keep it under wraps until it's ready?
I promise I'll have something for this week. But yeah, right now I feel that I just need to listen to more proposals like today, to get just a better sense of everything. But yeah, almost there. Like I have the idea. I just need to play more with the dashboard for reaching a final proposal.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. That's cool. Great. So yeah, and I don't know, maybe you, Delightful Abyss, do you have had time to make a param or something?
Oh no, not yet. I'm still I'm still wrapping my mind around how the volume curve works. So this has been really, really good for me to just hear how everybody's thinking about this. It's been really cool. But yeah, I'm sure I'll have something soon.
Cool. Yeah, if you have sorry, please, Septi. No, I just wanted to say that if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll do the best to help you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I've always got space to show more Bolsheviks Gambit. Bolsheviks Gambit via Pavlov's dog, and maybe it'll y'all get in your brains. But I feel like most of these people are already on the communist train, you know? Maybe Delightful Abyss hasn't had the pleasure yet, but...
No, not yet, I don't think.
Oh boy, well you're in for a treat. I can present that one if you want. It's the same Bolsheviks Gambit V4.
Yeah, great. I think Zepti wanted to say something, but then we can get to...
Sorry.
Yeah. Great, let's do that. I'll get in the timer.
All right.
Okay,
So
let's go.
this is Bolsheviks Gambit V4 with revolutionary opening price and Iron Curtain conviction voting. So kind of like playing on the idea of having a revolution that happens quickly, it's agile, it creates all these things, and then as it matures, things stable out, and we start to set up something that's a bit more functional and a bit less volatile. And then the revolutionary opening price is the 1x die, so you can see it's funny in Zeps, it's after the initial buy it goes way up over 5x die, the opening price, but it says opening price 5x die, capitalist Chad, 1x die, Marxist Vlad. And if we just get into the juice of it here, let's fork this bad boy, see what happens. So here, looking on the dashboard, we've got a 1 XDAI opening price, a short, 12 weeks, so a 3-month freeze, and a 1-year thaw. I like to say at this point that it's like technically we've been in the freeze for already 5 months, so I think 3 months is very reasonable at this point. And then we can be done and over with vesting from the Commons upgrade in less than a year and a half. After that, we've got a Commons tribute of 70%, which gives us a very generous 900K in the Common pool. And then at opening, we've got an entry tribute of 8% and an exit of 10%. And so these are still like relatively high, like not crazy like Griff's with like over 20%. But the main thing is that we want to incentivize buying more than selling, so that people are coming in and there's just like a little bit more of like a disincentive to sell. And I'd like to keep this like that for at least 3 months. And then I'd like to move down to something that's more closer to 2 or 3% entry and exit tribute, so that we have like reasonable volume within the augmented bonding curve, and there's not too many barriers for people to come in and arbitrage or just to simply mint tokens from the bonding curve. And then so the nice thing that I was trying to explain from the casino thing was that since we have a low reserve, this is under 400K at the beginning, the reserve, you can see the initial buy increases the price almost 50%. And that's just because there's a low reserve balance. Our reserve ratio is fine, so that when we get into the higher volumes, like if we, wow, this always comes with 10. It's like it saves the steps when you make the proposal.
Yes,
but then
it now does. It's new, but it does it, yes.
Yeah, so when you can see the reserve gets to almost double that, you can see these buys don't impact the price as much. So like when the Dow kind of like carries forward and has a larger reserve backing the token, the price begins to stabilize, but we can still have fun on the roller coaster at the beginning when the reserve balance is much lower.
2 minutes.
Moving on to Dow voting. Support required 88, minimum quorum 8%, vote duration 6, delegated 3, quietening 2, quietening extension 3, and then an execution delay of 1. So basically the main points here that I want to touch on is that A, we can be done with the Dow voting within 1 week, assuming that there's no contention. And if there is a discrepancy between how delegates vote and how voters would prefer the outcome to be, so like in the case of like taking back your delegates' vote and recasting it, then we wait for that, and then we add a very generous 3 days to get more voter input after it's been flipped. And so this is the conviction voting settings. This is the Iron Curtain, so to speak. And so we have a really good threshold for passing funding proposals. And so you can see here, if we make some examples with 35,000 in the requested, 900K in the common pool, and effective supply of 1.5 million. So this is like theoretical. I really think our effective supply will be a little bit lower than that. It still takes exponentially more TEC tokens to get that 35 grand. So if we're looking at opening price of one XDAI and you want 35,000, it'll cost at least $130,000 or XDAI to pass that proposal. So we really create like a good safeguard, and even if we get down into the lower limits, like 1K, you can see that it still takes way more to pass these low proposals. And
yeah, finish.
Oh, damn. Anyway, this is really important because we realistically won't see proposals that are going to be under 10K, to be honest with you, for token engineering. And so I'll leave it at there, and I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah, well, they'll never get 18 anyway. They can't even get 15. Yeah, let's look at it. Let's say they want $150,000. If they want 150 grand, it is not possible with 1 million effective supply and 9K in the common pool under any circumstance. So we could try and we could assume that there's more in the common pool, but realistically looking at it from launch, if we're using those like hatcher amounts, like it wouldn't be possible to go off with a significant amount of funds. And I think that's because we're over the spending limit. Let's try that again. Let's say they want 100 grand. So if they wanted in 2 weeks 100K, it would cost 364,000 TEC. In 2 weeks, they could, but I mean, we just dispute it if we think it's dumb. Well, then, so be it. If they make a good proposal, like that's what conviction voting is for.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a high number. It's a big percentage. Like, yeah, I get the point there.
How is it? Sorry, what do you mean? Well, that's just the fault of making something with real value have governance power. Not much I can do about that, We need that dual pool voting settings, dual token.
I have a question. Well,
Hit
not
me.
really a question, but okay. Don't you think that the minimum conviction is kind of not taking advantage of the TC Garden having a dispute protocol like Celeste? So in the long term, it might be more difficult to pass a proposal, and it wouldn't really be necessary because we have this additional like security measure. Change my mind. Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about having the minimum conviction is that spooky proposals can't really pass. Like, it kind of sets that minimum bar so that it's like, if you're just like fooling around and you want to get like 2 grand out of the pool and the pool's like $1 million or something, it's like that doesn't really fly under any circumstance. And so like it sets that bar so that you have to justify a certain amount of funding. And I don't think, like, the minimum conviction to me, because I don't think we're going to be seeing those weird funding requests for small amounts, because those are going to be doled out within the working groups and not through the Dow Treasury. Is that burning? Does that make sense, Chewy, or do you have something else?
It makes sense. I'm just thinking of, yeah, like what if the conviction growth was like, let's say like 10 days or 14 days, and we could bring down the minimum conviction to maybe like 3% or something like that. And I mean, I love that, like, that shady proposals won't be able to pass in short periods of time. But at the same time, because of how the TC works and the amount of people, I highly doubt that even if it's easy for a malicious proposal to pass, like after 2 or 3 days, for this not to encounter like a problem when Celeste is invoked. So, because in a way, I feel that in the long term, having this minimum conviction might be a little bit difficult, especially if the aim of the proposal is to, let's say, like retain people so that we can benefit the common pool from it. So I feel that it's just like a middle ground that could be like, I just feel that it could afford to take a little bit more risks so that we can better, like, I don't know, I lost my train of thought, sorry. But yeah, like I just feel that we could maybe explore like freer perspectives in how we pass proposals, counting on Celeste.
But what kind of token engineering proposal is going to be less than 10,000 XDAI? I think anything under that is going to fall under some sort of working group distribution.
I can see this being, well, like nothing really comes to mind.
Maybe some retroactive grant or some yeah.
Still
Extra
10
funding.
grand, you know, like,
If
I
it's
mean,
given
I
to
guess.
individual- yeah, just throwing out ideas.
And like, this isn't a one shoe fits all solution, right? I'm looking specifically at the TEC and like what kind of stuff we're gonna be paying for.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so hi Judith. I saw you joined during Mitch's presentation. We are doing param debates. Do you have something, any questions, or do you want to present something yourself? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, well, I think we're done here. If Zepti, you wanna debate something about the casino, that's great. If not, I think we can. Yeah, then please. I think, like, if I didn't know anything, like if I'm getting to know a project and I see that there's no vesting period, that is always makes me kind of distrustful just to begin with, because, you know, you expect there to be insiders. And in this case, okay, so the reserve ratio is very low. So if people start selling right away, the price will go down very fast and there won't be any money. But like, this low reserve ratio will also make that the price rises very fast. So since the first months are probably going to be the most volatile, if you have no vesting, you will have the situation where, you know, the bonding curve opens, people buy in, the price goes up to $10 or whatever, and just you have the founders probably just dumping it for a quick 10x, and that is a bad image. I think setting some freeze and some vesting, at least at the beginning, for the time where it will probably be most volatile, is it's a kind of a way of saying that we are serious and we are here for the long run, and we are just not trying to make a quick buck amongst people who are working build it. So that is my narrative approach there. Yes, it definitely is. I think there is. You have to find a balance, definitely. Yeah, I mean, your proposal is very extreme, so it's kind of. So yeah, but I think also.
Sorry to cut you off, Nugget. I have to jump into the gardens call, but I wanted to thank you for hosting this one.
I was glad to do it. Thank
and
you,
if
Mitch.
you guys want to learn more about Bolshevik's Gambit, DM me.
Thank you, Mitch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll also leave to prepare the comms call, but thank you very much for this. I'll see you in a bit.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation there. It was great. See you.